Welcome back to my channel. We're gonna get straight to it. I ain't even gonna waste your time. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this video, you're probably interested in working with us as far as credit repair services, or maybe you're just looking for more information, just as far as your search for credit repair. So I want to talk about how credit repair works, how it should work when you're working with a company. So things you want to consider when you're working with a company. All right, so some things I want y'all to be aware of before we actually even start. Number one, I want y'all to do your due diligence. When I say do your due diligence, you want to ask yourself, does the credit repair company have a website? So when you're speaking to the representative or whoever, if you're just doing your own due diligence, you want to make sure, do they have a website where I can go and actually look at reputable stuff? For example, my company, CAT, Consumer Ammunition Tactics, our website, you can literally type it right now, it's catacticsllc.com. Again, that's catacticsllc.com. So you want to make sure, do they have a website? Do they have a Facebook? Do they have an Instagram? If you go to CA Tactics LLC on Instagram, you'll be able to see a lot of different deletions we've had, from late payments to collections. There's some repos, just all items. So when it comes to doing your research as far as what company you want to work with, you got to, have some common sense. When I say have some common sense, choosing a cheap company isn't always going to be your best option. You want to understand that credit repair is something where it's sensitive information you're giving these people, and on top of that too, it's like an investment, right? You want to look at it like going to the doctor. Would you want the doctor that's the cheapest? They just got through school and they're just doing this stuff for you for the low, or would you want the doctor that is charging a higher price, but it's going to be quality, right? So it comes to a point where you got to meet that middle ground, because you don't want to just get charged so much money. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you don't necessarily go with the cheapest option. Some people will look at like a $99 a month option, or $99, 100, $200, and they're going to go with that just because of the price point. But a lot of times, I'm not saying all credit repair companies do this kind of activity, but a lot of times in those situations, you might find yourself where you're being scammed. This is where people say, "Oh, I've been burnt by credit repair companies," things like that. So alternatively, maybe the company's charging you thousands of dollars. I tend to see the middle ground. The sweet spot could be anywhere from 500 to like $1,000, right? And you got to think, because when you're making this investment, you're getting something in return that's like 10, 20 times your initial investment. So you got to think about it. If you're getting a house that's like $500,000 house, and that credit repair specialist is helping you remove the late payments, collections, etc., for you to get that approval, you're sitting in a $500,000 house. If you just made an additional $1,000 investment, it was it like, who got the better end of the deal? So I want y'all to use y'all minds when you're going about it. Have common sense. If it's too cheap, it might be too good to be true. Sometimes you just gotta pay for the best, right? And then don't be emotional. So we fully are aware credit repair companies, a lot of them are scamming, but you shouldn't let your experiences, past negative experiences with credit repair companies stop you from your next blessing. Your potential next blessing could be my company, Consumer Ammunition Tactics, right? I'm not saying you got to work with us, but you're watching my video. So, I'll be damned if I don't speak about, putting respect on our name. So you got to think about it too. It's basically the same thing. Like, if a guy was like, okay, this girl cheated on me, the girl was like, okay, this dude cheated on me. So all men are bad, all women are bad. That's not the way to go about it. You just got to heal. Maybe take some time, heal. If you still want to hire someone to fix your credit, you can do it, but don't be too emotional. Go in with the open mind. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so let's talk about the consultation, how it should go down, right? So if you're not seeing these elements within the consultation with who you're working with, then I would say maybe run. Nah. So the credit repair company should be asking you your goals. Like, what is your why? Like, what's your goal as a result of getting these negative items removed? So these are things that they should be asking you, so that they know how to actually treat your situation. Because it's important to understand this, because you want to know, like, okay, the client, they want to go get that car, they want to go get that house, that kind of thing, versus just being like, oh, this is what our packages are, this is what we charge for it, and then that's that. They don't even, understand what your goals are, what you want to do, like if you have a family, things like that. So they should be understanding what your goal is. Like, do you want to buy a house in the next year, car? Do you want to invest? Things like that. They should also be asking you what negative items do you have on your credit, right? Because if they just straight up say, oh, it's, this is this, like just use common sense, like I said. If they're not like assessing your situation, it doesn't feel personal to you, then that's probably not a good sign. So the way that we do our consultations, we definitely ask what your goal is and we assess it and we come up with a plan to help you reach that goal. We go over your negative items. Collections, for example. If we see you have a collection, we'll let you know. The way we do collections, we send out a debt validation notice first. There's a debt validation law that under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, 15 USC 1692 G specifically, that's a validation of debt law. And we have specific triggers that we put in our letters to where they are pretty powerful. It's not guaranteed. Nothing in credit is guaranteed. If someone's telling you anything guaranteed, you should run away from them, right? You're not going to hear that over on our consultations, whether you're speaking with me or someone on my team, right? So they're trained to understand that there's no guarantees, right? So late payments, right? So the important thing about late payments, if you don't know, sometimes you might have a late payment on an open account. You want to keep it open. Sometimes you might have it on a closed account. You can get it removed. It's different approaches to it. So these are some things that people don't know. One law for late payments you can use is 15 USC 1666B. An additional law you can exercise is in the FCRA, 15 USC 1681 A2AIs, right? It talks about transactions or experiences. So it just depends on the situation. And these are things that we at CAT understand, right? My team and I, we understand this. We understand how to handle each situation. This is why we work diligently with our clients to make sure that they are fully aware that we got their back and we're going to do our best to make sure they get the best results. So hard inquiry is same thing. Those are pretty easy to get removed. But basically, when you're going about the consultation, I want y'all to assess, are they speaking to me about my situation? Do I feel heard? Right? That's one thing you want to be aware of. Because, credit is a personal thing. So that's why when I got in the credit space, I understood that it was a lot of people scamming. I got in the credit space back in 2021. So we've been doing it for a number of years now. And I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to be the change I wanted to see because I was hearing about a lot of people getting scammed. So that's why, you know, at CAP, we have some of our core values are consistency, ability, and transparency. CAT, it's based off of, the acronym. So transparency is huge. So that's one of the things that we do. We're consistent, obviously, and then we have the ability to know these laws and put them in place to get these items removed. So these are things I want y'all to watch out for if you're not working with us, right? If you're working with us, you don't even got to worry about none of this. But the reality is we're not going to work with everybody. So if you're working with somebody, make sure that you watch this entire video and make sure they're on their P's and Q's. As well as you got to understand that credit repair is an investment. So I want y'all to ask yourselves, right? Before you hop on a call with that credit repair people, you want to ask yourself, is this a priority for me right now, right? One thing that we like to ask our potential clients, we want to ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of this is a priority to you, right? Because if it's not a priority to you, we're not in it to just steal your money, right? Because we want to make sure that it is a priority. And one thing I will say, if it isn't a priority to you, I want you to ask yourself, why is it not a priority to me? Because credit rules everything. You don't want to need your credit by the time you need your credit. I hope that doesn't go over anybody's head. You want to have your credit in place before you actually need it, if that makes sense, right? And then because it is an investment, it does require money. I don't know, for whatever reason, we live in this world where anybody can hop on the internet. I guess some people sometimes they just think it's just free, right? It doesn't work like that, right? I'm running a business, I have people to pay. I'm talking about if you're coming to my company and any credit repair company, right? It's not going to be free. It requires money. It's a service, right? So, given that, look at your situation. When you pay all your bills, do you have anything left over to invest in yourself? If you do not, maybe go get a second job, right? If you're working at 9 to 5, get a second one, get a side hustle. Watch my YouTube, learn how to fix credit yourself, that kind of thing. But if you're watching this video, chances are you're looking for someone to fix your credit. But all I'm saying is that you want to make sure that you have additional money because when it comes to the actual investment, you still have to make sure that your credit monitoring is, active, right? And that's an investment in itself. So if you, for example, if we come across somebody, utilization rate is like 99% and they just like all cards are maxed out, that's something that we have to take into consideration because it's like they already got all these bills hammering them. So we're not necessarily gonna take them on. So these are things you want to be aware of when you're speaking with people. If you're speaking with somebody, they're not really cognizant of your situation. Let's say you're just behind on your bills and stuff like that. So just make sure the consultation goes according to like if it fills your spirit, right? And then it takes time. So basically what I was saying, you want to start before you need your credit. And then like I said, you need to keep your credit monitoring up to date for them to view your credit on a routine basis. So a lot of times with credit, people will have their monitoring active maybe for a month or two, and then they'll just stop having it active. And then now it becomes a situation of, oh, the credit repair specialist isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing, but you didn't keep your credit monitoring active. That's part of it, right? It's two-sided as well. When I say it's two-sided as well, you got to understand if we're removing negative items, it's on you to maintain the good habits, not to let new negative items come on. Because if you do, then it's working backwards. It's basically like the same thing. Let me give y'all a simple example. It's basically like if you work out and then now you go and eat donuts after you worked out, you defeated the whole purpose of the workout. That's basically like a client that's allowing negative items to continue coming on their credit. So now they're like, oh, how come my credit's not increasing? You have to maintain those good habits as well. It's not just us removing the negative items. Don't get new negative items while we're removing your negative items. Hopefully that makes sense.
Commercial break. Attention credit repair business owners. A credit repair mentorship, the Cat Credit Retire 9 to 5 mentorship program is currently $5,000 for premium, 10,000 for the one-on-one VIP with me. The price is always going up. Some of y'all know when it was like 1,000 or even $2,500, right? So the price is always going up as we add more value because me and my students make a lot of money. And the next price increase, I'm just letting y'all know, the next price increase was supposed to be on February 1st, 2024, but we're going to make it on my actual birthday, which is February 8th. We're most likely going to suspend the VIP as well. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, you're going to have to get it ASAP, to be honest. And we're only going to pretty much allow you to do premium, which is going to be more than the $5,000 investment. Me and my team are still figuring out what the price is going to be. But one thing, a lot of y'all look at it like, oh, 5,000, I don't have that. First of all, as a grown man, grown woman, if you consider yourself a business owner, there's no reason why you should have that lack. You can't afford not to have it, right? So 99% of y'all, if you feel offended by that, you're not our audience anyways. Keep making the little money that you're making. Those of y'all that's the 1% that's ready to invest and get your business to the next level, I need y'all to understand too, you can finance the mentorship program. So keep that in mind, right? If you come over here, shop pay, you can check your purchasing power. You can get started today for as little as $451.29. If you don't have that to invest in your business, continue making that little ass money, continue clocking into that 9 to 5 that you do not love. Those of y'all that's ready to get to the next level, we're going to catch you on a call. If you want to book a call, if you want to go directly and just get straight to it because you don't like wasting time, that's the type of investor I am. You can go to catactics.com. Price increase is coming. Enjoy the video.
All right, so transparency is a must. I told y'all transparency is one of our core values. Consistency, ability, transparency, CAT. So you want to ask the credit repair specialist what their website is. If you ask us, catacticsllc.com. If they can't give you a website, I'm not saying they're a scammer, but that's a red flag, right? Maybe they're too new. Maybe they are doing some scamming. Who knows? You want to ask them where you can find their results. If you ask us, CA Tactics LLC, our Instagram page, it's literally posted there, right? Our results of numerous, credit repair stuff. It's nobody else's results. I have heard about some people using our results. So if it looks similar to us, maybe someone stole our results. I don't know. And then you want to ask them, do they have recent results? If they only got results from 2020, 2021, that's a red flag because you got to understand that credit is always changing. So the same way that it could have been done in 2022 is different in 2023. We've made adjustments since last year 2022 up until now. So that tells you if they're using the same stuff that they've only did back in 2020, that's worth considering. If you go to our IG page right now, you're going to see 2023 results from August, right? We're in August right now. So recent results and everything. You want to figure out, is there a written contract? That's a red flag if there's no written contract because per the CROA, the Credit Repair Organization Act, there is supposed to be a written contract. They're supposed to give you a disclosure document as well, which we give all of our clients. Do you have a good idea of the process after your consultation with them? So that's something you want to keep in mind as well. So as we go through this video, this is technically like a consultation I'm giving you in a sense because you're going to know about our process. But if you're not working with us, then these are things I want y'all to consider. All right, so I want y'all to remember that excuses excuse you out of your blessings. Excuses excuse you out of your blessings. So whenever, like, let's say you're going through a credit repair consultation, let's say it's somebody else, or let's say it's our company. If you say something like, I need to talk to my wife, I need to talk to my husband, you got to understand most cases that's just an excuse not to move forward. Most cases that's an excuse to count you out of your own blessings because if you got a 400 500 credit score, what is your wife or husband going to tell you as far as not fixing your credit? They're going to want you to fix your damn credit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that that's an excuse. I need to think about it. There's nothing to think about if you're on the call with a credit repair specialist. What are you thinking about? If you have anything you need to think about, you should be asking the credit repair specialist on the phone call, right? Unless you're just shopping around. And if you're shopping around, then okay, I respect that. But I wanted to put the slide on just to show y'all that 99% of what y'all be saying be excuses. And I don't want y'all to excuse yourselves out of y'all blessings. And then what guarantees can you make? That's a 9 to 5 question. So when you say what guarantees can you make, y'all got to understand, y'all don't go to y'all job and ask your boss, what guarantees can you make as far as da 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 da, right? So you shouldn't go and approach your credit journey, which is an investment in your life, and be like, what guarantees can you make? When, first of all, that's a violation of the CROA. And then on top of that, being a violation of the CROA, that's just a 9 to 5 question. So don't ask me that kind of question. Don't ask anyone on my team that kind of question because guarantees when it comes to credit, you're not supposed to make those at the end of the day. So keep that in mind. All right, so I need y'all to really understand, kind of like what I was saying before. Only you can fix your credit because it's two-sided. The only person that can fix and repair your credit ultimately is you. A specialist can remove negative items, and quoting the laws all day is it's a cool ability. But permanent credit restoration is in your habits that you maintain to keep your credit healthy. All right, so the actual dispute process, right? So just to give y'all some information about the dispute process, credit repair companies. I got my thing going crazy. Hold on. All right. So credit repair companies should be sending your letters out in rounds. And if you don't know what a round is, it's basically when they send your letter out and then the credit bureau's got to review it. It's like a 30-day investigation. The rounds can basically last anywhere from 30 to 40 days if you're using a software like Client Dispute Manager or Credit Repair Cloud. That's for the credit repair specialists. Everything will be in that software. So there's different ways to actually dispute. There's stuff called factual disputing. There's consumer laws. There's Metro 2 compliance. Maybe you've heard of all of them. Maybe you've heard of a couple of them. Maybe you've heard of none of them. We use consumer law. That's why I underlined it. So consumer law is the most powerful way to dispute. If you're speaking to somebody and they're not specific about how they're using consumer law, that's low key a red flag. Metro 2, we don't use Metro 2. I've heard about some people getting results with Metro 2, but I'm here to tell you that consumer law is the most powerful way that you're going to get results. So if you're speaking to somebody and they don't know the FCRA, that's a red flag because even if they're doing Metro 2, there's going to be some consumer law involved. Even if they're doing factual disputing, there's going to be some consumer law involved. So my main point of what I'm saying is that if you're working with a credit repair specialist and you're asking them what do they know about the FCRA and they don't know anything about the FCRA, that's definitely a red flag. All right, so after each round is when the bureaus will investigate, quote unquote, and then they're gonna delete it or verify it, quote unquote. So they're not supposed to, as far as like the verification and all that, they're supposed to go to the creditor and get that information. But at the end of the day, y'all gotta understand when it comes to stuff like debt validation from the creditor, they quote unquote validate it, and then that's how the bureaus verify it. There's validation and then verification. So as far as that process, just some information. You as a consumer, you have the right to basically allow what is going to be on your credit report or your consumer report. So one law I want y'all to be aware of is a permissible purpose law. This is one of the laws that we use within our letters. It's 15 USC 1681 B number 2. Basically says that nothing's supposed to be on your report unless it's with your written instructions. We also make use of the block of information resulting from identity theft section 15 USC 1681 C-2. And that's also a powerful in conjunction with that permissible purpose law. If you don't know nothing about what I'm talking about, you're just looking to fix your damn credit. You're like, I don't even know, bro, what this guy talking about. It's all good. We got your back. I just say that to say that we know what we're doing. And then for verified items, quote unquote, that means that the item is going to stay there. It's still in dispute. You're going to send a follow-up letter. One specific law that we use, this could just be gained for any credit repair company out there as well, if you don't know your consumer laws, is a method of verification letter, method of verification law, 15 USC 1681 I number 7. So you see how this video is beneficial, not only for you trying to fix your credit, but credit repair specialists as well. I'm gonna make some of these credit repair companies money because I know some of y'all gonna watch this video, you're gonna get value, you're gonna start using it for your clients. So I encourage y'all to do that and move forward. And it's pretty much that simple and that tedious. The way that I run my business, within this point now, as I've grown it and left my six-figure engineer 9 to 5, it's pretty much automated as far as the dispute process. I just bring in the leads, I do the content. Sometimes I hop on calls. So if you get me on a call, you're definitely lucky. Most of the times it's going to be a sales rep on my team. But basically, it's just like a back and forth process. So keep that in mind. All right. So just to wrap up, remember, only you can fix your credit because the only person that can fix your credit is you with your habits. You can change your situation right now and book a call to get more info, or you can continue being in the same situation. You can just watch this video, end this video like nothing happened, or you can book your call below. Or if you already booked a call, we look forward to speaking with you soon. If you're new, if you got value, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. With that being said, y'all have a blessed one.